what everybody's going to do today. But welcome, welcome. It's been way too long since we've had a team call. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My bad. I need to be more proactive about it. So
sorry, my kids are being crazy.
I'm glad you could join us today. So first, let's celebrate. We always have to celebrate first. What wonderful things are happening in your life? Tamara has a new grandbaby.
You have a new grandbaby.
Kind of old news, I guess.
She's almost, what is she, 8 weeks old already?
Yeah. Okay. Anything else good going on?
Just busy.
Well, that's good to be busy. That's good. How about you, Donna?
Same old, just trying to recuperate from my eye surgery.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
Oh, some days are better than others, but it went pretty well. It's just trying to get the vision back, and equilibrium's a little bit off, but it'll be all right.
Okay. Good attitude. I love it. You inspire me. Awesome. You do, for real. Okay, so I wanted to do this call for a couple of reasons. First is to check in with everybody, see how everyone's doing personally as well as with your business, and to focus on two big things. And the first one is strengths. We haven't had a really good strengths conversation, I think, for a few months now, and I don't know about you, but I have to talk about things and keep it going. Like at the front of my mind, I have to have constant reminders, or I'm forgetting about it. So I wanted to remind all of you as well. And then we were going to talk about BOGOs. So just to let you know, there has not been an announcement that BOGOs are actually happening, but we want to be prepared, right? So I'm gonna give you some tips and some ideas of how to make the most of the BOGOs for your, hey Jeannie, how to make the most of the BOGOs for your business and for your customers, right? To help them get the very most out of them. So first we're gonna start with the strengths though. So I'm gonna share, first I'll share, you know, let's do a little background on the strengths stuff just to kind of get us. Okay, can you see that all right? Okay. So do you guys remember what a strength is? What we define it as?
Something that you're good at.
Okay. Something you're good at. That's a great definition. I really like, so I've shared here on this slide a couple of links to some information. The first one is a YouTube video that I really encourage you to watch. So I was trying to get our upline Amy Glenn to be able to jump on this call today, but her day was just packed full. So this is a video that she made. It's a webinar that she did. It's about an hour long, but totally worth the time investment that she made, that gives you a really good background on strengths and why they are so important, not just for your business, but for your life, in your personal life, as a parent, as a grandparent, as an employee, as a friend, right? There's so many ways that we use our strengths, and really knowing our strengths is half the battle. Sometimes we think that, you know, I'm not good at something because my big thing was always, well, I'm an introvert, and so I'm really not good at talking to people, and I'm not good at teaching because I don't like to be up in front of people, and right, and so I had these ideas that I had to have certain personality traits in order to be successful at things. And as I've come to know my strengths better, right, I took the test And I actually recently upgraded. I had just first originally found out my top 5, but just yesterday or the day before, I made another little investment and got the rest of my the rest of my 34 strengths from the Gallup test. And it's been very enlightening for me to see that how important those strengths are. And so anyway, I want you to watch that video sometime. If you can just make a commitment to yourself sometime in the next week or two to check out Amy's video on strengths. I think it will really help. Well, okay, it's helped me, so I want it to help you. I think it will. I stole this little screenshot from her video that what a strength is. It's a talent, right? Something we're good at, like Tamara was saying, a natural way that we think or feel or behave. But it's multiplied by your investment. So you guys all know how multiplication works, right? The more you put into something, it's not just a sum, it's not just adding to it, it's multiplying it, it's making it sometimes exponentially a bigger thing in your life. And so as you think about your strengths or your talents, even the ones that are the strongest for you are most likely the ones that you've put the most time into. Yes? Yes, Tam's nodding her head. Okay. I'm gonna flip over here now. Does anybody have any questions about the strengths test?
Libby, is that one we took for free and got a few of ideas?
Yes. So we did so Kendra showed us a quiz that was similar to the Gallup's test, similar enough that we could kind of extrapolate. And yes, so you took it, you got your top 5, and then I put it into terms of the Gallup's strength test. Here, I'm going to share this other screen with you now so you can see them. And I made a spreadsheet. So just so you guys know, one of my number 2 strength is input. And input means spreadsheets to me. I love to gather information. I love to look at information, and it helps me to make plans. So you're going to see a lot of spreadsheets if you hang around with me. I'm just warning you. But so this is just the list of how many of us on here? 1, 2, 3, 7 of us so far that have taken either the Strengths Finder test from Gallup, or they did that other assessment, and then we translated it into. So do you all still have either the email or a text? I can't remember how I sent it to each of you, with not just what your top 5 are, but also the definitions for each of them?
Yes, I do.
Donna? Okay.
Probably.
Okay. So the next question is, how often do you look at it?
Not as often as I probably should.
Okay.
I only looked at it once. I need to put it somewhere I can find it and look at it again.
Okay. Awesome. And I can resend it. I can find the email and resend it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, then I'll put it on a spreadsheet, and then I'll know where it is.
There you go. Print it out. It's really fascinating to me when I'm focusing on my strengths, how much better my life goes when I'm remembering these positive things about myself. That's one thing that Amy talks about in the video, in the webinar that she did, is just how easy it is for us to focus on our lack, to focus on the things that we don't do well or that we want to improve on. And unfortunately, when we do that, we lose a lot of ground. That negative approach to life is not helpful. If we're always just trying to fix problems, we're not making much progress. But if we can start from a place of strength, if we can start already knowing, right, Donna, knowing that your top strength is responsibility,
Right.
knowing that that is something that you can use to bless your life and to bless other people's lives, it helps you to plan and helps you to have that forward momentum rather than just always feeling like we're just digging ourselves out of holes. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Libby,
So yeah.
just recently, you know, at work or wherever we make mistakes, and sometimes they seem to be in my forefront and I can't let go of them. And I think if I put instead I'm not going to work, you know, going to try and make a mistake. I'm going to work to help people. And all day long I have for 12 hours and I make one mistake. But what do I remember? That one mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the less than perfect that we are. And sometimes I know that we have at least I do, sometimes I'll beat myself up because I didn't do everything just right. And I have to focus more that I am so good at doing all these things, and sometimes I'm human and gonna make a mistake, you know,
Yeah.
or that things aren't gonna be exactly as I'm not gonna see it clearly. That I think, you know, then that's just a dark spot instead of the joy that we should have for all the things we do right.
Exactly. And I'm so glad you brought this up because it illustrates how sometimes our strengths can be weaknesses. So one of your strengths, Jeannie, is responsibility.
Yeah.
You are super committed to fulfilling your responsibilities. It's funny, you and Donna and I and Tamara and Melody, we all have responsibility as one of our top 5. So for people like us, for people who feel that deep sense of duty, it's very easy to kick ourselves when we don't fulfill our duty.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, just being able to switch it around, maybe using one of your other strengths, you know, that belief strength that you have, or your achiever strength, or your self-assurance strength, using that to remind yourself that it's perfectly fine to make mistakes. Mistakes help us grow, and it's not a failure.
Yeah, as long as we try and learn from it, you know, that's the kicker.
Yep. And you can totally do that. And I see you do that. So thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that with us. I appreciate it, because I can tell you honestly, we all struggle with that at some level.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's natural because, well, for me, I want to try to do better.
Mm-hmm.
I want better. And, you know, and it's like, I got to do better and I have to learn from it. And if you don't make a mistake, you can't learn from it and be stronger for more things. And I have to remember that, you know, I'll be stronger for more things since I made a mistake, you know, and I can end up growing from it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Exactly. And that's how we use.
I have a phone thing.
No, I was trying to go across and you stopped for me.
Sorry. Thank you.
Nice start anyway.
Thanks.
So that's
Sorry,
how we use our strengths, right? So I'm going to give you an example from my life. So my number one strength is harmony. I don't like confrontation. I like everybody to be happy and everyone to have what they need, right? As a group, as individuals, that's something that's important to me. And I was talking with Erica a few weeks ago about this, and just how sometimes that comes to bite me because I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want people to be uncomfortable. And so I back down. When really, and I love that Erica pointed this out to me, I can use that harmony strength to lift people. It's kind of like when you think of music, right? A good harmonizer isn't someone that is singing the same as everybody else. A good harmonizer is someone who is complementing what everyone else is doing, who's raising them up to a higher frequency, if you will. And so as a harmonizer, that is something that I'm trying to focus on more. still empathizing and still being compassionate to people, but not letting them derail themselves, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
strengths are I would love to have just like I said, I would love to have Amy come on and teach us more about strengths and maybe talk to each of us individually on how we can do it, but how we can use them. But I've had some thoughts about strengths that I wanted to share with you here. So I'm going to share this little presentation with you again. So I want to issue a little challenge to everybody, whether you're watching it live or if you're watching this recording. We mentioned before, several of us have taken the High Five strength test, which was great, right? Great information. It's a great starting point. But I want you to think about how much you've been using that information and how much you invested into getting that information, right? It was a few minutes of your time. And so could it possibly be that you haven't been using that information because the investment wasn't that deep for you? What I've found with my health coaching clients is that people that make a bigger investment in something are more likely to follow through with it. They're more likely to value it because they have put time, money, other resources into it, and so they use it more. So I'm putting this out there for you as a challenge to at least think about it, to go ahead and make the investment in the Gallup Strength Center test. It's an investment. There's money involved. Amy gave me this code. It's 25% save that you can use on the website. It was working as of yesterday. I don't know if it's if it's only good for a short time, but truly to be able to get all of your strengths and see them, and putting that monetary investment into it will make it of more value to you. And I really truly believe that you'll get more out of it, because what you invest in, you get a return on. So I'm putting that out there for y'all, just to think about it. All right. Next thing is, what do you do with your strengths? Right. I have this list. I printed out this list yesterday. You guys can see this. I actually did my top 11. I printed my top 11 out because Amy said, even though you get your top 5 from the Gallup Strength, like the initial, most people actually operate within their top 10 of their strengths. And so I printed 11 because, I don't know, it just seemed like a good number. And because I really liked my 11th. So that's why I printed it. But I put this up right by my vision board. I had 2 copies, one by my vision board. I put this other one over here on my desk so that I can see it and so that I can remember what I have to contribute and not diminish it. When I first printed it out, when I first looked at my top 34, I was kind of disappointed. Can I tell you why?
Sure.
Because I have zero, count them, zero achiever or influencer. That's the category. I have 0 influencer strengths in my top 20. 0. So that's if you know the color code on the strength test, that's the yellow one. And those are the things like activators, wooers, command, right? These are people that can they influence other people. And I have 0 of those. And I was kind of sad for myself. I was like, I'm in the wrong business. I can't influence people.
That's not your number 1. That might be a number 2.
No, it's not even in my top 20.
No. As far as like those are your top 20 strengths, but underlying strength of many of the other items have an influence innately inside of them.
Right. Exactly.
So, like a sub strength
Yeah.
And if you multiply those by a lot of the other strengths that you have, you can
Mhm.
see that being an
Totally
influencer.
down.
Right. And it becomes influencing. Exactly. And that's exactly what I came up with last night as I was looking at this list, because I realized that I think it's either 5 or 6 of my top 10 are executing. I get things done. I get
That
them done.
influences people.
And then my other ones are, the majority of them are relationships. So definitely, I can still be an influencer. I don't have to be a stand on the stage and, rah everybody. To bless people and to help them with their lives. And that's one thing another thing I forgot that I wanted to point out about these strengths. We talk a lot in the gospel about how we're given talents and we're given these gifts, not for ourselves. They're given to us to bless other people. So I would love for you to take that perspective as well, that none of these strengths that you have are really for you. They're given to you so that you can do something with them. And sometimes it's hard to know, what do you do with them, right? You have this list. Has anybody come up with how they want to use their strengths here yet?
Not really.
Still kind of thinking about it, which is great, right? Thinking, deliberative. Donna's a deliberator. That's awesome, right? To think about things and really make a plan for moving forward. So I found this awesome resource. I didn't even know it was there until yesterday. This awesome resource on doTERRA's website. It is a guide, a strengths guide. You can access it online. You can print it, or you can just, read it online. But it is a workbook that goes through and helps you identify. You have to go take the test to get your top 5 strengths first. Once you've taken that test, you have your top 5 strengths. You use this guide, this workbook, to plan how you're going to use your strengths. So I shared the link for it here. The easiest way to get to it, if you don't want to type this link in, is you just go to the doTERRA website under our advocates. It's up in the top kind of right. There's a link that says our advocates, and it drops down. There's a section called Empowered You. So click on that and it takes you to all these resources. This guide is one of them. There's also a video, a short, 2 to 3 minute video for each of the strengths. So you can take your 5 strengths and you can watch the videos for each of those 5, and it tells you number one, what the strength is, how to use it, and some of the pitfalls of them, so that you can kind of plan and prepare for things. It's amazing resources. So can I commit you all to do that sometime this week? We're coming up on the holidays. Sometime this month.
Before the end of the month.
Before the end of the month, print out your strengths, go to the website, and at least watch the videos and start working on that workbook. Because I can tell you from firsthand experience, my own experience, that when I focus on my strengths, my business grows. When I'm focusing on the things that I'm not doing right, or the things that I wish that I would do better, I get stuck. Literally. I've been stuck for a couple of weeks now, at least a couple of weeks, because I've been focusing on these things that other people are saying they're doing with their business. And I'm like, oh, I should do that with my business. But it's not one of my strengths, and I'm trying to force it too hard. So I'm coming back to the basics. I'm coming back to the things that I do well, that I harmonize with people, that I gather information, and that I empathize and I connect with people, and that I'm responsible. I get things done. So that's where I'm coming back to my foundation. And I want to invite each of you to do that. Get to your foundation and then just watch the miracles happen. Watch them happen, come into your life. So it looks like we lost Tamara. And I just wanted to jump over. Any other comments or questions about strengths?
No, I'm glad this is really helpful to me. Just a reminder, and I think we need to remind ourselves a lot of times of what we have instead of what we don't have. You know.
Yep. It's all about abundance, strengths, abundance. That's what it's about. Okay, we are gonna jump over then back to the BOGO stuff. So like I mentioned at the beginning, we haven't been told that there's BOGOs happening. They don't tell us until the night before or the day of. They like to make it a surprise. It kind of helps with that excitement and, you know, the fun part of it. So, but historically, there's been a BOGO during the week of Thanksgiving. So I'd rather prepare for it. And if it doesn't happen, it's okay. You have the information and you'll be ready for next time. So just a recap of how BOGOs work. You can typically get, so there's a different BOGO combination each day of BOGO week. And it's usually just 5 days of the BOGO. So each day is something different. If you've noticed, they tend to keep the products pretty close to the same price. So, for example, if the BOGO is, you know, buy a lemon, then or buy a wild orange, then you'll get a lemon for free because the price point on that is pretty similar. So most of I've yet to see anything where they have like a frankincense and you get a lemon for free. The price points are usually pretty similar between the combinations for each day. And how it works is you can order anytime before midnight local time for that day's BOGO. If you try to order after midnight, then you won't get the BOGO. It's only available until midnight. You can order typically up to 5 of each BOGO on one account per day. So this gives us some opportunity to share the BOGOs and to build volume for rank advancement, for Power of 3, and to help people that have been hesitant to experience the oils because of cost, to help them see, wow, look at this, you're gonna get one for free. So, you know, you're not out anything. So I have just some tips here of things that I've used in the past that have been that have been successful. I typically have rank advanced during BOGO week. That's always been a very, very good time for me as far as my business. I have had enrollments from totally random, out of the blue people that I never had imagined would be interested in essential oils, but they came to my mind and I shared the BOGO opportunity with them, and they were on board for an entire wholesale account. So I'm just saying lots of amazing things can happen during BOGO week, but there is some preparation. Okay, my battery's going low. Go plug it in. So some preparation that you can do, and you can even do this starting today, is think about the people in your group of friends, family members, whatever, that maybe you haven't connected with in a while. Make it a point to send them a text, give them a quick phone call, leave a voicemail, right? Just something, just thinking about you. You want to connect with somebody on a personal level before you hit them with oils, because then they'll just think, oh, they're just calling me because they want to sell me something, right? So making that personal connection is really important. And then when BOGOs do happen, it's just like, oh, yeah, I just talked to her a couple of weeks ago or just last week, and you were on my mind. So, you know, I've been thinking about this oil that you could use, or whatever, however you want to say it. So don't depend, here's a big point, is don't depend on email or Facebook completely to get the word out about BOGOs. A lot of people are not even checking email these days. And especially since that Facebook fast, well, and even just with all the negativity, even friends that aren't LDS, a lot of people just really aren't on Facebook anymore either. And so, I mean, they check it every once in a while, but it's not it's not as big as it has been in a lot of communities. So really that personal touch, texting someone, calling them, and again, no group texts. I have, at least for the initial text, you know, you can text one person at a time and find out if they want to receive information about it. And then you can put them on a group text if they want to get the information in a text version. But spending, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place right now. As far as the preparation that you can do this week, brainstorm. Make a list of the people who have either tried oils in the past or have expressed, you know, that they'd like to try them, but it's so expensive. Think of those people. They should be right at the top of your list. You can also write down people who have become inactive with their accounts, or maybe they just don't order as much. BOGO is a great way to reconnect with them and say, hey, let's build back up your oil supply or whatever. Right? If you're running low on that breathe, this is a great time to get it, that kind of information, that kind of thing. So that's the best thing you can do this week as far as preparation for it. To spend, you know, 15, 20 minutes of writing names down. That will go a long way to spending less time next week, because I don't want you to spend, you know, hours a day contacting people and so forth during BOGO, especially with the holiday. You want to be able to enjoy your holiday. If BOGO happens, once it hits, definitely invite people to join that VIP group that I have on Facebook. Don't reinvent the wheel. I'm just telling you, if I'm already doing this group, if you really feel strongly that you have to do your own group, I guess go ahead and do it. But the more people we have in a community, the more exciting it is for each person. And so I want to have a lot of people in there, whether they have a wholesale account or not, they're invited to the group. I will be doing all the posts for information on how to use the oils and products. We'll be doing giveaways and freebies and drawings and keeping it fun and exciting. So definitely invite people if they're on Facebook to join that group.
Libby, excuse me, I have a question.
Yes.
Has this group been up, or did you just establish this group?
It's been up. I created it a year ago, I
Oh,
want to say. So it's just called VIP. I can't remember the name of it now. You're on it. I did
okay. Well, you know me in Facebook. I guess I just didn't realize I was there.
Let me see. It's called BOGO VIP Group.
Okay.
Okay, so if you just do a search for it even,
Okay.
and it has the picture on it, has me. What was I showing you? Oh, we were here. Okay. The picture of it has my name on it, on the cover.
Okay.
You'll be able to tell that it's our group.
Okay.
Sure.
Perfect.
But yeah, go ahead and invite people to join it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm on that, right?
Yes. Yes, Jeannie, you're on it. And feel free to invite people to join it. Right?
How do you do that?
Your friend in Arizona. I will show you. Stop sharing this and we'll go back to Facebook. So to invite someone to join it, hold on just a second here. Get rid of those windows. Okay. Oh, BOGO VIP group. There we go.
So you find the group under
So you
group.
find the group, just BOGO VIP group. It's also linked on the E² Oils group. So you go in here, and then over here on the right side, there's this little box that says add members. You just type their name in there. Right? So Jeannie Martin, you're already a member, so it wouldn't let me add you. But you type their name in there, and it will show their picture or their profile, and you just click on it, and that invites them. Like that.
Okay, so I go to BOGO VIP group, then you go to what little spot?
It's right on the front page, and it's on the right-hand side. It says add members.
Add, okay.
Yep.
And then you just put whatever their name is or whatever.
Yep, you just type their name. And you might want to, you'll want to check with people first before you just randomly add them. Go ahead and, once the BOGO has started even, or what I've even been doing, I've just been sending out messages like, well, you guys probably saw the emails that I sent out. Just in case doTERRA does a BOGO sometime.
Right.
That kind of thing. Oh, I forgot to share it. I went to Facebook. I thought I was showing you how to do it. Here we go. We'll do it again so that I can show everybody. And this is open to anybody else that is watching this recording afterwards. I know that some people just on the Better Oils, Better Life on Erica's team are watching this. You guys are welcome to join this group. So here's the group, and then here's the spot right here. You just type in add members.
There you go. Okay.
Right? Like that.
Yeah, you kept saying it, and I'm like, I'm not seeing it.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was not sharing the screen. That makes kind of a difference. So, yeah.
Perfect.
So anyway, everybody's open to this. And I will be doing some prizes and some, like I said, some fun giveaways and that kind of thing, just to keep it fun and exciting. So, this last part that I wanted to talk about was how to use the how to use BOGOs to help your business. And like I mentioned before, when I've done BOGO, I consistently rank advance, or at least if I've fallen back in my rank, I hit the rank. It helps me to solidify my rank. So you can definitely use it. You just have to be strategic, especially if you don't have a lot of sharers or builders underneath you. And at this point, everyone that's on this call, you guys are all not quite elite, and so elite would be your rank goal at least, right?
Right.
And so to hit elite, it's just 3,000 in volume, and it doesn't matter where you put it. It could all be under your name, technically, I guess, but it helps with the Power of 3 bonus to place the volume in different spots. And so I can show you specifically how to do that. Basically, so let's start with Power 3. Do you guys know what Power of 3 is?
If you have 3 people under you that are constantly doing it, that you get almost pay for whatever your LRP or something.
Yeah, you get a bonus income from people who are consistently ordering on their LRP. So in order to have that, you have to have at least 3 people on your front line who are ordering at least 100 PV. You have to order 100 PV, and then between you and everyone on your front line, it has to be 600 in volume on your front line. When that happens, you'll get a $50 check from doTERRA, just like that. And then if each of those 3 people have their Power of 3, you'll get a $250 bonus. So it really adds up pretty quickly, and with the kind of volume that happens during BOGO week, when orders are placed in the right spots, Power of 3 just falls into place, literally. So the first step is to identify where you want to get your Power of 3. So you would look at your back office. Let me just show you that. I'll show you my back office, and we can maybe do a little bit of training here. So you'd come here to your back office, you log in, and you come to the back office, and you can, there's a couple of different ways to do it. I actually like the, just right here on the dashboard even, to right here, Power of 3. It shows you where you are. So far I've got my 50 Power of 3 bonuses.
Are you sharing that screen? I don't see it.
You're not seeing it. Thank you.
Your forehead real good.
Got my forehead. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Okay, there it is. Okay, so this is on the dashboard when you go to your back office. So here, this area here is your Power of 3 bonus area, and it shows you, it tracks it for you. So what I like to do, so you can see here, I've reached my 600 volume just on my front line, and I have 3 people who have placed their LRPs, and so I have a $50 bonus so far. So you go here into the full detail, and it brings up, maybe, there we go. It brings up this cool little chart, this little picture of all your people. So you can go through here. So for example, is it okay if I use you as an example, Donna?
Sure.
Okay, so this is Donna right here. So Donna has already placed her order. She's purple, and she has Ann who's already placed an order as well. So you can tell, right? You could just add the volume. Just add LRP volume and LRP volume. Add those, and that will tell you your overall volume. And then what Donna could do, or any of you could do, you go through here and you can see who has an LRP already set up. That's the first place to start, is to see. So Kirsten has one set up. Janet has one set up. Shelly has one set up, right? And Cindy. So she has 4 people who already have an active LRP. So those are the people that she could contact. As she's collected orders, she can collect orders and she can contact Shelly, let's say, and say, Shelly, I have this order, you know, for the BOGO, it's like 5 breeds or whatever. Could I place it on your account? And there's a couple ways to do that. Either Shelly can give you her password and you can go in and place it, or you can have her place the order and then you can just pay her back for it. But you have it shipped to you so that you don't have to deal with getting, you know, picking it up from her or whatever. Anyway, so once that order is placed, then she would have a qualifying LRP. Is this making sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay. So that's the goal, is to place that volume in spaces that will, number one, your power of 3. I would start with the power of 3. And then once you reach the power of 3, then you can start thinking, then you can look at your volume, right? And so you come here to your team page, team tab, and there's a couple of ways to do this. I'm kind of old-fashioned. I've been doing it the old-fashioned way. I go in and I add everybody's volume up and I figure it all out because, again, spreadsheets, right? But they have this cool little new app here on the back office called the Rank Tracker. So you can click on the Rank Tracker and it will help you, it will calculate your volume. There's information here, how to use the Rank Tracker, all of that, to figure out how to use it. But it shows you here specific things. So for example, let's say you're running for Elite, right? Elite is 3,000 in volume. And so you can look and see what the current volume is. It also shows you this expected volume is the LRPs that are set up under each individual leg. So for me, I'm trying to hit Premier this month. That's my next rank, because I'm Elite right now. So Premier is my next rank. I know that I need 2 legs with 2,000 in volume. So I can look right here and see, okay, there's 1 leg that's pretty close, right? There's 2 legs that are pretty close. And even this, you know, this leg is not that far away, depending on the type of volume that I'm going for. So you can identify those places, and that's where you would place your volume. In the same way that you do for the power of 3. You call the person, you text them, you say, I have these orders, and I put them on your account. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. It's a very, very powerful tool.
But that's going to mean that you're putting your own things that you have orders from other people that you would end up doing under a different person, so that it will get them up, not just your own up.
Correct. Correct. And they will get the LRP points on it. But that's one of the motivators that I tell people is, you know, if I can place this on your account, you're not out anything from letting me use your account, and you get some product credit from it.
Yeah, you get extra points.
Right. But in the end, it does help your business, Jeannie, and your business, Donna, and my business, it helps me because that volume is placed in a way that my commissions go up, right? If you remember how the commissions work, the deeper you place volume, the deeper you have people ordering, the higher the percentage of your volume.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
it's really a win-win for everybody.
Right. No, it would be good as long as you have that much volume that's gonna, that you can
Right.
add to.
Right. And even if you only had, let's say, you texted people or you've been calling people and you only have like 2 or 3 people that are taking you up on a bonus, on a BOGO for the day, it's totally fine. Still place that volume below you. Try to not put it on your own account. Place it below you somewhere, because even if you don't have your power of, let's say it's like a $50 order, right? You're not going to get a power of 3 necessarily from that. But let's say the next day you get another $50 order. You place it on that same account, you have a $100 qualifying order. Even if it's 2 separate orders, they add them together for power of 3.
Oh,
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt to place small orders either, even if it's less than 50, they won't get any product points from it, but it will still build up to help with the power of 3 bonus. And you can
Okay.
go as deep as you want. As deeply as you want. So at this point, I think both of you just have people pretty much on your front line. You might have a couple
Right.
deeper,
Right.
but for future reference, and especially as you get more enrollments, and maybe you'll be enrolling people this week because of the BOGOs, being able to see how the rank works with the power of 3 and placing volume, that'll help you with placing people when you enroll them. I was just going to look here and see. Let's see, Jeannie is here.
I
Yeah.
don't have it.
You do actually. You have
Patty Glancy.
Yeah, Katie Glancy's below you, and then she has a couple of people. So, the potential is there. And even if you enrolled a couple of people this month, you wouldn't necessarily get the Power 3 bonus from them, but you get the Fast Start bonus. And you put them right there on your front line, and they'll be set up to help with that Power 3 bonus.
Yeah.
Right? So just some things to think about. We come back to this presentation, see if there's anything else about, writing down your rank goal. That's a big deal. As you start out the week of BOGO especially, or even if you start out the month, write down your rank goal. Put it somewhere, right? Next to your strengths printout. Write it down. Not to beat yourself over the head with it, not to make you feel bad if you don't get it, but just to remind you of what and that rank. I had a problem with rank when I first started because I was like, it's just all about the money. It's all about volume. But then I realized that rank represents people. It represents lives changed. It represents families and individuals with better health. And that's those concepts are kind of hard to put numbers on, right? Families feeling better and people being healthier. And so that rank is just a quantifiable way to track your why, to track how you're helping people, is with the rank. So just something to think about. Any questions about using the BOGOs?
No.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
All right.
I have a question. The new items, you cannot use your points for them yet. Are we gonna be able to use our points for them at some point?
I'm sure eventually they will.
Okay.
I don't know when that will happen. Probably the oils before the products. It's usually how it works. The oils, you can usually use points for them. It usually it takes them some time to build up inventory and to kind of establish like how much they're going to need of everything. And they don't like to let people use points for things that have a low inventory.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's another thing. Often I get the question, can I use my points for the BOGO? You can't use points to
No.
purchase BOGO. You do get all of the shipping back in product credit points when you put it on an LRP. So that's
I
something.
never see that go. I see, it says that it does it, but I don't see where there's any, it goes into points that they add on.
Yeah. Have you noticed that?
No. That's why I said I don't notice
Well,
it.
and it's usually such a small amount. I mean, even if you're doing the $7 shipping, it's like 7 points. And so you may not notice it each month when you see all of your points accumulating, 7 points here or there.
Yeah.
May not look like a lot, but it adds up, a couple of months, and you get a free lemon or a free wild orange just from your points.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Another thing to keep in mind, I'm so glad you talked about points, is to remember that the enrollment promo is still going on this month. And so if they do BOGO week next week, that could be another incentive to help people get their enrollment, get their wholesale account set up, is you say, yeah, you can get the BOGO, and when you spend $100 on your enrollment, you get $50 in free product.
Right.
Okay, so we can, is that making sense? So let's say they, even if they did like an a la carte thing, or if they got a kit and wanted to add the BOGO to the kit, and then they'll get $50 in free product just for enrolling this month.
And that would be points in the next order, right?
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to use it with the current order.
Right.
I
It
was
goes
just
into
gonna
their
check
points.
and see if, so I enrolled someone last week. I was going to see if those points, because you also get points. You get the 50 points also. So they get 50 and you get 50
Whoa. That's
when they
cool.
enroll. Nice, huh?
Yeah,
And that's for every person that you enroll.
that's cool.
It's very cool. It's a great one. So I'm just going to see here. Okay. So I think that's it. Darn it. I didn't keep it to 30 minutes. That was my goal. I talked too much. But I hope it was helpful. And honestly, if you have questions, so I will let you know. As soon as I know, I will let you know about the BOGOs.
Okay.
And I'm still
Sounds
planning.
good.
I'm still planning to text the little image to everybody so you can forward it to people, and use all of those resources as well. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Let me invent the wheel. You guys just use it.
Sounds good.
All right. Okay. Love you guys.
Thank
Love
you.
Thanks for joining. Okay. We'll talk to you later.